just to wait and see if you fly. Come fly where our love unfolds. If you fly, come fly. It's a love untold. If you fly, come fly. I'm gonna be the only one and all you'll ever need. Come on with me, baby, take my hand, fulfill your every dream. Time is always ticking, oh so fast, the moment
2, 3, 4. You're so beautiful, beautiful. Hey, listen, baby. Who would have known that to have a girl who can seduce me with the rice? I like the way she talks. Hey, oh yeah, I like it. I wanted to know that you're just the one for me, to take control of my curiosity. Look at those curves on those thighs, makes my temperature rise. I'm sold, and I just wanted to know. Oh, you're so. When I look at you, I'm so thankful, and I like it. I love you, babe. You are basic. Everything I need and more. You're so lovely to me. Listen, I like the things that you do. I like the way that you put your lips on me. Just by your smile, I get weak. Hey, there's nothing more that can make me feel complete. You just don't know how it feels. My mind gets stuck on the image of you like glue. The Lord has truly blessed me, 'cause you came in my life and you set me free. Oh, beautiful. Gotta make you my wife and share my life, baby. I love you, yeah, I love you, Muy bonita. Yeah, you are. I love you, yes, I love you. Ooh, my heart overflows from the power of your love. Every beat, I just need to know that you love me. You love me. Oh, love me. Baby, will you love me? Be there for me. Oh yeah. You know I need you, babe. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Beautiful. I'm so beautiful.
is precious to me. Winter and spring and fall, and on beautiful days like this, I know I love the summer days more by far. The sun is out and there's no doubt the celebration will flow freely. This time I had a real good time and do it all over again. From New York to LA to the Red Sea. Summer's for lovers, summer's for friends. Summer day,
I love the beautiful summer day.
Summer day,
it's such a beautiful summer day.
Nature is doing its thing.
Summer day,
The earth is peaceful, the birds are singing.
summer day, summer day.
Life is meant to be lived. Every ounce a blessing from above. My mind is filled with marvelous things, and my heart sings melodies of love. The sun is out, there's no doubt the day will have a smooth conclusion. The time has come to have some fun and do it all over again. From London to DC to sweet Paris. Summer's for laughter, summer's for playing. Summer day,
I love the beautiful summer day.
Summer day,
it's such a beautiful summer day.
Nature is doing its thing.
Summer day,
The earth is peaceful, the birds are singing.
summer day, summer day.
Summer day,
I love the beautiful summer day.
Summer day,
It's such a beautiful summer day.
Nature is doing its
Summer
thing.
day,
The earth is peaceful, the birds are singing.
summer day, summer day. Wonderful, marvelous, beautiful.
Beautiful summer day.
Shining sun, so warm, my love.
Beautiful summer day.
Wonderful, marvelous, beautiful.
Beautiful summer day.
Shining sun, so warm, my love.
I love. The sun is out, and there's no doubt the celebration will flow freely. This time I had a real good time and do it all over again. From New York to LA to the Red Sea. Summer's for lovers, summer's for friends, summer's for friends. Summer day.
Beautiful summer day.
Summer day.
Such a beautiful summer day.
Nature is doing its thing.
Summer day.
The earth is peaceful.
Summer day.
The birds are singing. Summer day.
Beautiful summer day.
Wonderful, marvelous.
Summer day.
Shining sun, so warm.
Summer day. Wonderful, marvelous.
Wonderful.
Summer day, summer days.
Sing ding 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 ding, sing ding 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 ding, better about
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is now time for the Indie Live Spot right here on GHP Radio, your independent music source.
what it is, y'all. What it is, y'all. This be the universal question. We seek the answer. What it is.
Picture the world with me. This is what I see. Justice, equality, racial harmony. What can one person do? I'm one, you make two. I will stand with you. Together we are better. What is color? What is race? Would you like me better if we had the same face? My blood bleeds red, my heart beats true. With so much love, my brother, for you. What is color? What is race? Would you like me better if we had the same face? My blood bleeds red, my heart beats true. With so much love, my sister, for you. Picture the world with me. This is what I see. No war, no poverty, ethnocultural harmony. I heard one person say, love will make the way for peace and equality. This encourages me. What is color? What is race? Would you like me better if we had the same face? My blood beats red, my heart beats true. With so much love, my brother, for you. What is color? What is race? Would you like me better if we had the same face? My blood bleeds red, my heart beats true. With so much love, my sister, for you.
Yeah, we're thinking globally, we're acting locally. Want somebody, tell me what it is. Yo, practice like that does not bend, but if you bend your mind, you just might find a friend.
Find a friend. What is color? What is race? Would you like me better if we had the same face? My blood bleeds red, my heart beats true. With so much love, my brother, for you. What is color? What is race? Sweet love. Would you like me better if we had the same face? My blood beats red, my heart beats true. With so much love, my sister, for you.
Baby, I got
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of the Indie Live Spot right here on YouTube live stream. And of course, we are streaming live today. And we have a great guest today. We're very excited about our guest today. We have composer, writer, and he does a lot. Mr. William Green is here with us today.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and of course, Grizz and Joyce is here joining us today.
Hey, Grizz and Joyce.
Hello.
Yeah, and of course, Ray is not with us again this week. Of course, we told most of everyone what was happening when he was here the last time. So just keep your prayers out for Ray and his family, and he'll be back. He'll be back. So. But again, we are excited. So, Mr. Green, we welcome to the show. We just opened up with the actual title track of your CD, the Mind Rush.
Yes.
And wow, this whole CD, man, the entire CD, in my opinion, is just awesome. It's great. Every track I've heard on it is just on point. Your production, everything is just great, man. I love it. So
I'm wondering, did you get enough money to say that?
Wait a minute, William. I did
it. Okay. Nonetheless, I mean, really, man, I'm humbled by that compliment. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate it, Gary. Thank you.
Very nice, man.
You have to hit up Angela Moore.
I got to pay more money to a lot of people then. Yes.
No, you keep producing music like that. You won't have to pay anybody. They'll be paying you.
Ooh, speak it into the universe, sister. Yes. Thank you.
You bet. You bet.
And then, of course, a special shout out to Angela as well.
Yes.
For bringing
APM.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She's listening.
Absolutely. Well, good deal, man. So let's find out a little bit about you, man. Tell us about your background, because I know that you've been in this business for a while. You've been, man, after I read a little bit about you and stuff, you have a lot of great artists that you've worked with, and if I understand right, is you celebrating the 40th year in the industry?
Yeah, this summer rather is 41st year now.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually started my profession in terms of writing and performing professionally in 1978 when I left from Chicago, which is where I was originally born. Mm-hmm. And once I graduated from high school, I came to Atlanta, Georgia. And, with a short amount of information, my journey started as a child when I was 7 years old. My dad was a Baptist minister in Chicago, Illinois, and my mom was a choir director. And fortunately, we were financially well enough to do as a family, by which my mom and dad actually had a piano and organ at home. And obviously the universe, my ancestors chose me to be the recipient of the gift of music, to the point that when I would come home from church with my brothers and sisters, I gravitated towards the piano, and I was able to musically duplicate everything I heard and saw at church.
Wow.
Yeah, to this day, when I think about it, it amazes me, because at that time period, 7, 8 years old, I hadn't taken any lessons from anybody. I just had access to this instrument, which then was pretty much like having a computer now.
Right.
You have this device by which you're able to explore and to attain this musical presentation, and it went from there to becoming one of the principal musicians of this very prominent church in Chicago while at the age of 10, which was pretty significant. I mean, to be playing the organ, or responsible to play the organ or piano for every Sunday worship service, for every funeral, for every wedding. Then at some point I did take piano lessons. Once I got into high school is where I learned the application of theory, composition, and I started listening to large amounts of different types of music. Now, the other aspect of listening to music is that even though my dad was a Baptist minister, my dad had a barber shop. He had a barber shop in the basement of the home, and he had a barber shop at a remote location. And because my mom didn't particularly care or like to hear secular music, my dad had to sneak and listen to music in the barbershop.
Yeah.
And being a young boy, that's where I gravitated. I hung out, whenever he was at the barbershop. And that's where I picked up jazz music and pop music.
Yeah.
There was a very popular radio station in Chicago known as WLS. And that's where I learned all of the pop songs, John Denver, the Carpenters, Elton John, the Beatles, And then the jazz balance of that was, being introduced to Herbie Hancock. That's my main musical influence.
Yes.
And once I gravitated to all of that information, I left Chicago 1978 after graduating from high school, came here to Atlanta with the intention of going to Morehouse College, which I did for about a year and a half. Unfortunately, money was not at my disposal, by which I wasn't able to continue that journey there. Taking into consideration, a semester in 1978 at Morehouse was about $6,000. A semester now at Morehouse is about $50,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
It's something just like that. But
Yes.
that $6,000 was, it was a little hard to come by. However, at the same time, I was starting to perform a lot around the city of Atlanta. That's when I formed my first group, which is entitled Magic Dream. If you see my logo right there, Magic Dream, which is a contemporary fusion band. And the first live performance that I did with my band was opening up for what was then Jeff Lorber Fusion Group.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And since then, Jeff and I have, always remained friends. We talk whenever we see each other in passing. And along with that, in the group at that time, in his group, was Kenny G. And so whenever I see either one of them, we always speak fondly of that. And that's where, the journey has now taken me 41 years later.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is awesome. That was like the 70s, wasn't it, when Jeff Lorber hit it big?
Yes.
No, early 80s.
The 80s, yes. But his introduction to the music community or the industry was with regards to his involvement with Jeff Lorber, the Jeff Lorber Fusion Group.
Right.
And once he left from that, then he emerged on his own. Yes. So you're absolutely right.
Yes, because I remember him, and I forget Kenny G played. I forget, and when you said that, I went, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And how awesome is that? I have a question for you. You said you started playing by ear first.
Yes.
How hard was it for you to transition from playing by ear and then going into reading music and theory, etc.?
I welcome that question, because even today, I'll be celebrating my 60th birthday in February.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah. So when I consider the fact that from 7 until now, that's like about 53 years of playing, it was a challenge, my sister, and it still is a challenge today. I regret that I never have disciplined myself to read music to the extent that I'm able to hear music. Mm-hmm. Now, I still work on that craft as much as I can. And let me give a better analogy. For individuals who are able to read a book, if you place that book in front of their hands and they read the book, however difficult the words are. Now, of course, if there are words that they're not familiar with, they'll try to, phonetically spell it out as best as possible. Mm-hmm. Music is pretty much the same way, in that if you gave me a piece of music right now and told me to play it, I'd have to spell it out before I could play it, similar to how I'm talking to you. The way I'm talking to you now allows you to understand exactly what I'm saying. However, if I were to play something, I would be struggling at it. So I do still work on it, and it was a challenge. It still is a challenge, and I respect those musicians and vocalists who have that gift, whether it be through training or discipline, because it makes a difference with regards to the level of musical respect that you're able to attain.
Yes.
You can walk in places, or people will ask you to do things, because the music is right there. This is what they want, the way they want it, how they want it, no questions asked. Whereas when you're in a situation where you're only relying on your ear, that could very well be to your disadvantage, depending on the circumstance, that you're involved in.
Go on the sight read.
Yeah, yes, basically. Again, if I took a piece of music home and I knew 2 days later or 2 days from now I had to have it, I'd have it. I'd have it, but to say right on the spot, no.
But even if because I was a reader first, even if you started reading and then playing by ear, it depends on the complexity of the music. Because they'll ask me, can you read? Yes, I can. But if you have a bunch of 30-second notes in one bar, I'm going to need to do exactly what you did. Okay, there are 4 beats in there. Boom, boom, I got it. And I'll mark it. But, and then I don't read, anymore. I don't get to use it like I did when I was in orchestra and concert or symphonic band.
Yes,
and I just don't read a lot. And I have noticed that I don't read as well as I used to.
Yes.
I just don't use it.
Yeah. And it's like anything that we do as human beings, the less we do it, the less we're acquainted with it. I use this analogy, interestingly enough, during the daytime, I teach music at 2 senior facilities. Now, I use the word senior very loosely and respectfully because I just said I'll be 60 in February. So, seniors in terms of most of these individuals are 15, maybe 20 years older than me, who are retired, and they now have the flexibility in which to learn something that they've never done before.
Right.
The thing about that is there's still a way by which you can, learn the craft of reading. You just have to approach it maybe in a different manner. And what I've learned to do is look at the information and look at the direction that the notes are going.
Right.
And then you see how much spacing is in between the notes, which kind of gives you a little bit of a navigation ahead of what you're going to play to see, okay. And there, there it kind of happens.
Right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that you teach as well.
Yes. It wasn't something that I was pursuing. It was pretty much just brought to me by the universe, and there was no way in the world that I was going to turn down getting a check every 2 weeks.
I know, right?
And to do something that I love and that I enjoy and that I know how to do, it's a no-brainer. So great flexibility, meaning when I have to travel, I'm able to, take away from that location to, continue pursuing my career. And then when I come back, it's still there. So it's good.
That is good.
What do you like best about music? Performing, recording, or writing?
I think, yeah, all the above. I think where I am in my career now, I still and probably will always enjoy performing live. There's something addictive about that. Much unlike, I look at songwriting as one who would walk out of their front door butt naked.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that registered with anybody, but right?
I want to make sure it registered right. Could you elaborate?
That's what I'm getting ready to do.
Okay.
Please forgive me. I didn't mean to be so vivid, but
no.
I can see where you're coming from on that one.
Yeah. So when a human being is not wearing any clothing, you are exposed. You're exposing your, to be honest with you, your true self. Clothing allows you to show an imagery that would be acceptable, that would be respectful, that would be appreciated. Without clothing, you're pretty much just presenting yourself as you are. That's what songwriting is. You are presenting something in a very organic, embryonic presentation. And the only thing that makes that nakedness of your song become something that is acceptable is when it becomes a commercial hit. And that's because everybody hears it. Everybody has seen it. Here we go. No disrespect to any musical artist right now who has, attained a level of success beyond where I am. But I just want to say this. When I think about it, what's this song? Is it Lil Nas and Billy Cyrus?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think of the title of it.
You don't have to think of the title of it. It's not really necessary.
I know what you're talking about.
But do you know that particular song, like other songs, it's been on #1 for the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
In any other circumstance, if that song were just written by him and he maybe put it on some other CD or album, whichever case may be, but it got no promotion to the point that it's in the ear, literally in the ear of tens of millions of people.
Right.
It'd just be a regular song. Same thing. Going back to your initial question, I would probably have to say I enjoy performing live versus writing and recording, because live is just right there. It's here it is. No sugar. Writing and recording, unfortunately, now requires that individual to conform to this science that has been crafted so that you become successful, if that's what you're wanting to go after. Now, if you just want to do it because of the enjoyment, you will do that. You won't necessarily be known around the planet or recognized or royalties or things of that nature. But to be able to perform live, yeah, I could do that all day long. Writing and recording, is just a different mindset. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges of performing live that you have?
Whew. Right now, my biggest challenge is being the person that wears all the hats. And I'm not complaining. I'm thankful that, the Creator has given me these challenges or obstacles, because it's doing nothing but just making a better musician and person out of me. That's the bottom line. But some of the challenges, for instance, I just did a show here in Atlanta Wednesday, and I did it on a weeknight intentionally. This is a venue where normally people don't really like to come out on the weeknights, just in general, because I got to get them to go to work, next day, or, they don't want to travel a long distance. But I did it because I needed to go against the grain. I'm an explorer. I'm a darer. I don't do real well doing something like somebody else did it. I have to go beyond that. Having to be the band leader, watching the door with regards to people coming in, how many people are coming in the door, just so many different aspects of ensuring that a night's performance is successful. It's extremely challenging.
Yeah.
Not to mention the playlist.
Oh, I got one even better than that. How about a playlist? And this is not a bad thing. To these group of musicians, it's a great thing. But a lot of times, as independent artists, you are forced to have to play with musicians who are either available or that are willing to accept what you're able to offer. And with that dynamic, then you have to kind of have to navigate with them in a certain way, much unlike your core band. You know what I'm saying? And so even though the playlist was something that was well rehearsed, well, I shouldn't say well rehearsed, it was rehearsed.
Right.
Yeah, but because of the limitation of time, you see what I'm saying? And not being able to pay these musicians to come and do 2 or 3 rehearsals prior to the show. Man, the playlist, you don't really even need to have it, because at the end of the day, unless those musicians are really thoroughly acquainted with your music, which in a lot of cases they either are not or they can't be because they're involved with other things and they can't make their sole commitment to you.
Right.
You pretty much just have to go with maybe a show not being on the musical level that you were hoping for, but you know how to make it work with what you have.
Right. And I find that, I thought I was the Lone Ranger But after coming back from California, I'm in Texas. I find that it's a challenge everywhere.
Yeah.
As I, 2 events I played, I had to use 2 different bands to back me up because one venue wanted their band and the other venue wanted their band. And so I had maybe hour and a half rehearsals. Quick. And then you pray for the best when you get on that stage.
That's it. And again, even with that, it only pushes out the best in you, the band leader. If you don't accept that challenge from that aspect, after about 10 or 20 of those types of experiences, you could very well just say, you know what, I'm through with this. I'm through with this. But
it's an occupational hazard. There are just some things you just accept.
That's it.
And you just deal with it. And that's how I know some artists are using click tracks.
Yes.
In other words, they'll send it to the drummer and he has his ears and press play and they play on top of that. So what do you think about that?
I think it's okay to at least provide another music dimension. Now, if that audio signal is also being emitted to the audience as well as to the band, it could very well enhance the overall sound. If it's only coming to the musician, I can't say anything bad about it because obviously it helps the musician to navigate, to know where the music is about to go. But again, at the end of the day, I think as a musician, we should solely be able to be responsible to knowing what our part is, what our role is. Because, God forbid, if the click track stop, what do? You stop playing because the click track is
right.
No.
My part ended by.
Huh?
It's like my part ended by.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think about that because you can be perfect, sound perfect, everything's working, but there have been times and that something can go wrong in the middle of your event. And what do? What was it? Stephanie Mills. They showed her outdoor festival singing. The sound just went completely out.
What did she do?
She kept singing and her background was right. They were right on point. She sang her song. She was up front and the background ladies, they were doing their thing and they just kept going with a cappella, no backup. And the audience went crazy.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, when you as a ticket buyer, when you have paid your $20 or $30 to go to a concert, honestly, you really are not audibly, unless you're musically astute, you're not really paying attention to, the click track went out. Oh man, not really. You focus on, hey, I want to make sure I enjoy myself, having spent this $30, and I hope she or he sings my favorite song. That's pretty much what you're relying on. So, but I do value the usage of a click track doing a performance if in fact it's used with sensitivity.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I'm waiting for Chris and Gary to ask you a question now.
Well, what I'll do...
I'll be quiet now.
Well, I'll open it up for Grizz because I'm going to play some music here in just a moment. So, okay. Grizz.
Well, why don't we go ahead and go to the next song, and that way you can tell us about it when we come back. Okay.
And of course, I know you were limited on time too, so we got to watch the clock as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I was my question was also, before I get into the music, I was going to ask you. So I know you probably you're the writer of all this stuff, right? Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And
yes.
So are you performing everything on the CD, or do you have other artists that are actually performing with you on the CD?
No, on that particular CD, they're actual musicians that performed the music. There's, I think there might be one song where my son did the percussion program.
Okay.
But But as far as like actually having a bass player, having an actual drummer, a guitarist, a horn section, actual string players on 2 songs. No, that's actual musicians, and trust me, I can vouch for that because my bank account and the receipts over there indicate.
I feel you.
No machine got my money.
I know that's right. Okay, well, what I want to do, I want to play because man, I like all the music. Of course, I told you that at the beginning, but Stand Your Ground, man. Tell me something about that, man.
The title should speak for itself. I was compelled to write the song after witnessing the incident of our good brother Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
And to see how our country galvanized around what I think is I can't begin to put words behind how it is that you can legally now kill somebody without any kind of provocation.
I know, it's crazy.
Just because you think somebody is about to do something. Really
sad.
So it is, and I'm learning now as I get older that we as artists, we have to use our musical platforms as best we can to bring to the attention the ills of not just this country, but the ills of the world.
Right.
This is not the first time someone has expressed, a sentiment. I mean, it's been done numerous times with numerous artists before me. So this particular song is my way of musically expressing the necessity for us to look at that. Really look at that, because at the end of the day, that means everybody is then under the target of a gun by somebody. Everybody, even the person with the gun.
Yes.
Everybody, white, black, blue, green, Asian, Italian, whatever. But to implement something so, just something so. I say the word why. I mean that's just crazy. So anyway, that's what the song was about.
All right, brother. Okay. All right, we're going to let everybody check it out, and then, of course, we're going to come right back to you. So, everyone, enjoy it. Keep it locked right here on the Indie Live spot, and we'll be back with William Green right here.
I'm going to make one adjustment on my air conditioning. Come right back. Okay.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you've actually had a chance to listen to a couple of more tracks there. Now, the one that you just hearing right now and then it's about to get ready to fade out is Driving in the Rain. And then before that, we hit you with the one that we were just talking about.
Stand Your Ground.
Yeah, Stand Your Ground. And man, all like I said, if y'all didn't like that music, then something's wrong with y'all's heads. Or something.
Period.
I don't know.
Nothing wrong with y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you said that, Gary, not me.
Yeah. I had to
I've been trying to say that to the world for the last 10, 15 years, but they're not hearing it yet. Okay. So, you know.
Well, let's make it.
Appreciate you, brother.
You know, no problem, man. Yeah, so it's great, man. So, cool. Well, so we know that you have some time. You got to get out of here in just a little bit. But before you do that, though, we want you to definitely tell everyone and our listeners, tell everybody how they can get the music, where they can buy it, and then of course where they can actually follow you to find out where you're playing and all these different types.
Sure. You can go to my website, which is williamgreenmusic.com. I'm on all of the other social media platforms as well. I usually post most of if not all my events on my website, and that's where you can find me. We're going to be traveling a little bit more as we launch the upcoming CD, which will be out early spring. The new CD is called The Power in You. And I'm really excited about this particular CD in that I have involved myself with a large degree of the production of the CD, being able to now record a lot of the information from my home and then send it to my engineer. And I like that process for two reasons. Number one, I like being able to work in a very comfortable atmosphere surrounding, and I like being able to save some money for a change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm sure you can relate to that, Joyce.
Yes, I can.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited about that CD, and there are some other events and things that are going to be coming up, which I don't want to share right now. But if in fact you do want to find out more information about me, as I said, go to my website, which is williamgreenmusic.com.
Excellent. Cool. Excellent. All right. Cool. So, Grizz, Joyce, anything you'd like to add before we let him go? Because we.
Just real quick, because when looking at your bio and I was writing for the text for the promo, mentioned I put all the people that you shared the stage with.
Yes.
All those, and then when you opened up, when you were with Ms. Tedeschi,
Susan Tedeschi, yes.
Yeah, when you opened up for like Rolling Stones and Spyro Gyra, and I was like, wow, Yellow Jackets. But I mean, what was when you were doing that? Let's say when you were the opening. What was that like for you? I mean, because I was like totally geeking out for these people.
Yeah. The work relationship that I had with Susan Tedeschi for a 6-year period afforded me the opportunity to have that experience whereby we opened up for the Rolling Stones. I think it was a 2-night event? It was either a 2-night event or 2 shows in that night, something like that. Mm-hmm. That by far was probably to this date, the most. No, take that back. That was next to the largest crowd of people that I've played. This event was at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and the other really great rewarding thing that came about as it pertains to that experience is in high school. For 2 of my years in high school, I was also in the high school orchestra with my good friend Daryl Jones, who's the bassist for the Rolling Stones. And so for us to see each other
Again, yeah.
Yeah, again, and in this capacity that we knew we were always going to be
Get
this,
there,
or
yeah.
do this. Yes, it was really great. But the other large event that probably made me, a little starstruck with Susan Tedeschi. In fact, we did Farm Aid, which is similar to a Woodstock.
Wow.
I remember
You
Farm
did.
Aid.
You were at Farm Aid, really?
Yeah, with Susan,
cool.
and I mean every bit of 70, maybe 80,000 people.
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember that.
Something crazy, This was, I think it was like, the 2004 or 6 or something like that. It can be overwhelming when you're playing in front of that large of an audience. But I think at the end of the day, if I had a choice in that dynamic as opposed to playing in a room that you can only get maybe 50, 75 people in, I'd rather have that small room.
Yeah.
There's something about the intimacy of being that close or in close proximity to your audience.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things that comes to my mind in that kind of setting is they don't miss anything then.
Mm-mm.
Anything. I mean, anything, everything, the breath that comes out of your mouth, you could actually see it, you know what I'm saying, because you're that close. And even to that extent, if in fact there was a bad note played, it forces you, the performer, you really have to be on your game then. See, you can get away with a bad note in front of 60, 70,000 people. Because first of all, they can't really hear it.
Right. So, yeah.
Yes,
You can get away with that.
But in front of 60, 70 people, nah, you pretty much better bring it.
Yeah.
It's got to be exactly. But those are two of the most rewarding experiences. And then, the time that I spent 10 years traveling around the world working with Peabo Bryson. We did some pretty large venues as well. My brief work relationship with Cameo, we were overseas in Amsterdam for a day and performing. So all those dynamics, yeah, they're good. I'm looking forward, though, now to performing my own music as my own artist in these similar, arena situations. Yeah.
Now, real quick, I wanted to ask you this particular CD. How many CDs do you have under your belt?
The Mind Rush CD is the fourth one.
The fourth one.
Yes, the one I'm about to release next year will be the fifth one.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Joyce,
so
thing before we go?
I think I've asked on my. You don't want me to open up again.
Okay.
You'll be stuck and you'll miss your appointment.
Okay.
Because I learn from other artists all the time, so I always have questions.
But Joyce, let me flip the script because I forgot to ask you. You play alto or tenor? Or both?
I play both, but alto is my primary. Alto and then soprano.
Okay. Oh, cool. All right. Well, I hope to get a chance to do some collaborating with you real soon, though.
Hit me up, as they say.
That's what's going to happen. Hey, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the invitation, brother. I appreciate you, man.
You're so welcome, man. We really enjoyed having you.
It's never taken for granted, when someone would want to open their doors to expose and to allow an artist's music to be heard, around the world. So I don't take this situation for granted, brother. Thank you. I sincerely mean that.
Our pleasure. And like I said again, we definitely enjoyed every moment of it, and we open to come back anytime, sir. So.
Yes.
Thank you all very much, Griselda and Joyce. Nice to meet you both.
You too.
And I'm going to make sure that Gary has my contact information so that you can get it, Joyce, and then stay in contact with him.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to let you go. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right.
Careful.
All right. Peace.
Good one. Bye-bye. All right. There you go.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. What a great interview.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And
Yep.
so that's great. We're going to play some more music and of course a lot more music for some other great artists as well here. And Yeah, I think YJ, you were asking about Ray. Yeah, we mentioned that a little bit before the show. Ray Mac is doing all right. He's just dealing with his loved one. Stella is in the hospital, and she's kind of dealing with some stuff. So they're trying to
get that result.
Yeah, tend to that. So hopefully he'll be back soon. So
yeah.
And glad to have Grizz back. Glad to have Joyce back.
Yay.
I was by myself last week.
Oh, and I hated that. I was like, I could be on the show by my stupid computer.
I couldn't believe it because when I called Mac, he said, I wasn't on the show. Did he tell me Gris wasn't on the show? And I went, oh, Gary was by himself. But then I guess that. And of course, Mac said, but I bet he got a word in edgewise.
I knew it. I knew it. That's it.
Christian talking. He still got a word.
That's Ray, boy. Yeah.
Y'all laugh at me, but I have to cut myself. I'm cutting. I'm not asking any more questions.
Yeah, it's like, because I know you'll say, it's like, oh, okay, I've talked too much. It's your turn. But when you answer yourself, that's what cracks me up even more.
But, my husband always tells me, you have the gift of gab, because I'm able to listen to somebody and have a question ready one after another. That's just me. But then everybody else is looking like this, like we there's more than one person here, right? I try to be cognizant of all that and say, okay, let me back up. That's why I didn't ask another question, especially if it's something, an industry that I'm into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah. No doubt.
It's hard to come up with questions about that. So
you're wonderful. You do great questions, so we really appreciate you, Joyce.
Yep.
Definitely.
Ooh.
And he even said it. I was like,
I was waiting on one of you to crack up too.
I'll wait.
It's addicting. Oh boy! No, I really enjoyed speaking to him. Just a very humble guy that has done so much to be so humble.
Yeah,
and great music. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
I wish him the best. I wish him, everything what his heart desires.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Okay, well, let's get a little bit of music in and then come back. What do y'all think? Sounds good?
I'll be back.
Works for me.
Okay. Well, currently you're going to hear one more from Mr. Green, William Green, and then we're going to play some other ones. So keep it locked right here, and we're going to be right back with you right here on the Indie Live spot, right here streaming live on YouTube, right here. Keep it locked. Cuckoo.
Park, watching winter turn to spring, walking in the dark, seeing lovers do their thing. That's the time. I feel like making love to you. Feel like making love to you. Feel like making love. To you. When you talk to me and you're moaning sweet and low, that's nice. When you're touching me and my feelings start to show. like making love to you. Feel like making dreams come true. Feel like making love.
They say I need you like a bullet to my brain, like a needle in my veins, that I must be insane, 'cause they can't see it. Your love makes me fly, and I won't come down. No, I won't come down. See, our story started so long ago, but they paraphrased it like a love cliff note, and the finer details that keep us close, they can never know. No, they'll never know that my life without you isn't life at all. It's like building a house without any walls. With no foundation, it will surely fall. But I'll stand beside you through it all. If love is so blind, then how could I see that without a doubt you're all I'll ever need? Forget what they say, they don't know a thing about you and me, about you and me. Oh. We cried together and we wiped our own tears, pushed through stormy weather and our silent fears. We triumphed and conquered through all of these years. They should see us now. They should see us now. And my life without you isn't life at all. It's like building a house without any walls. They call me crazy every time I fall, but it is what it is, what it is. If love is so blind, then how could I see that without a doubt you're all I'll ever need? Forget what they say, it don't mean a thing. It's just you and me, only you and me. If love is so blind, then how could I see that without a doubt, my darling, you're all I'll ever need? Forget what they say. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know anything about you and me. It's just you and me. And my life without you isn't life at all.
They got us living in fear. They got us living in terror. Taking all our rights away. No health care, corporate bailouts, poisoning our food, killing our children. What we gonna do?
Why are people dying so young? Tell me now. Can you tell me why? Why are people dropping like flies? Tell me now. Ooh, people don't give a damn, and I don't understand. Does anybody knows how deep the rabbit hole goes? Ooh, we're in the matrix. Oh, we're in the matrix. Oh, yeah, we are. Listen, every time I look around, they tell me cancer is putting somebody down. Yes, it is. And for a minute, everything is fine. Well, then the next thing I know, somebody got a stroke and left their family behind. I can't stand it. Ooh. 'Cause what we eat and what we drink is all a lie. Chemicals falling from the sky, and you walk around and you're still asleep. Know the truth because the truth will set you free from the matrix. Oh, listen to me. The matrix. It's got your mind. It's got your children. Chemtrails falling from the sky. Putting poison in your food that you eat. The rabbit hole is deeper, more than you know. You'll be surprised how your mind is controlled. We gotta take back this life that we've known. The price we're gonna pay if we don't. What we eat and what we drink is a lie. Chemicals falling from the sky. Fear is the killer. Control is a chiller. Freedom is cherished. Lose it and you perish in the matrix. Oh, yeah. The matrix. Free your mind.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And gosh, yeah, you just got to hear some good music there. That was Matrix, the Matrix, Tim Austin Mitchell Band, from his CD Time. And then let's see, right before that you heard You and Me featuring NKJ, Terry Tuck. And you also heard Top Down with Mr. Greg Manning, Blend Jazz with Freestyle. It's a Party, Yvonne J. and Joseph Rodriguez. And Mind Rush by our guest, William Green. All right. And what a guest we had with William. Glad he was able to come on the show today. Enjoyed talking to him and listening to some of that great music.
Mm-hmm. We always have great artists on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We do. We really do.
It's amazing.
Actually, it was Feel Like Making Love. not Mind Run.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Grizz. Thanks for correcting
It's like, wait a minute, that was the beginning of the show.
me. You're right. My bad. That's what I get for trying to wing it without looking at it.
Sorry.
It's all right. You know, Gris will set you straight.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So what's up, Gris and Gary? G&G.
Yeah.
G&G.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to have my computer back. I'm just sorry that all my documents are gone. All my music is gone. Everything. It was wiped clean.
Yeah.
He couldn't retrieve. He tried to retrieve.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff that as much as he could, but he couldn't. It wasn't letting him. It was totally dead. My hard disks. I'm like, no.
Yeah, because I know when you called or text me that day when it went down, my heart just sinked. I said, "Oh no, Grizz, no."
Yeah, you and me both. I'm like, no.
Yeah, when my hard drive crashed a couple of years ago, I think it was about 2 years ago. This time I was able to retrieve everything. I had to pay like $70 for the guy and give him an external hard drive.
Right.
But it's still, even I was happy to be able to recover because I had a lot of videos from gigs and music and all kinds of things. I was happy to recover it, but it took forever to put all my software back.
Yeah.
That's when you realize how much stuff you have.
I know, right?
I have music recording software plugins, and then I have a what's called Sibelius scoring program, and a movie editing program, photo editing, and I just one after another. And then sometimes I ran into an issue trying to some things were just very smooth. Because one of the companies, Seraph, they no longer make the movie editing software, so I just couldn't go to my account and download it.
Right. Yeah.
But I had my your serial number or whatever number, and found an email, and the guy sent me everything I needed to download, and I was so happy. I don't know why they don't make it, but I've used their movie editing software for years. For what I do, it's perfect. So yeah, it can be a mind-blowing experience. I think it took a week or two for me to finally get everything back situated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, you know how we were talking a little bit earlier off air about this technology when it messes up things, and and I just want to put some people on blast. I don't care. I'm putting.
Go for it, G. Go for it. Throw them under the bus. Go for it.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Go speed your venom, brother. Go for it.
I'm finna do it. I'm sorry. Geek Squad. You don't know nothing about fixing nothing. Stop it. Okay, let me tell you the story. Let me give you the rundown. This past weekend, my iPhone. Okay, I plugged my iPhone into my iMac. Okay, that's something you do occasionally if you want to update it or sync it with the computer, whatever.
Right.
And so anyway, I was just charging it. Basically, that's all I was doing. It was right. Actually, ironically, it was right before I was getting ready to come on live onto the show last week with Christian and Deborah. Mm-hmm. And so we're on 2 hours, of course. So after right before when I plugged it up, it came up and it said, "Do you want to update?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, why not? I hadn't updated my phone in a while." So I pushed the button, let it do this update, and then after the show, 2 hours later, I'm looking over at the phone, and the phone is stuck on white screen with the Apple logo, with the bar still trying to load, and I'm sitting here going, now this thing should have finished up. Yeah, and so I unplug it, and then I turn it off, or try to turn it off. It wouldn't even shut off, so it was locked. Yeah, phone wouldn't. It was just locked on that screen. It kept going,
wow.
And so I was just getting frustrated. So I went on YouTube and pulled up the information, about what was going on, and then they showed, everybody was, showing what you can do to try to fix that problem. So I tried it a few times, and it didn't work. It still kept freezing up and all that stuff. So I called Apple. Apple set me up with an appointment to bring it in. And but the lady that I talked to, she says, well, the Geek Squad at Best Buy can actually help you because they're certified Apple and they work on that too. And I said, well, fine. I said, that's where I actually bought the phone from anyway, from Best Buy, so I'll just go there. So I pack up, drive 20 minutes to Geek Squad over at Oklahoma City, of course, and so I get there, and this little kid comes up. I call him a little kid, but I know he probably was in his 20s or something, but he was one of the Geek Squads.
Still a little kid.
Yeah. And he comes up to me, asking me, how can he help? And I said, okay, well, and I told him the whole deal about the phone. I told him the whole episode as far as how long, it was, what was happening. I did this. I'd already done this, okay? So he tells me, he said, well, you may not didn't, you probably, and he had a kind of a weird attitude, like he knew it. Yeah, like he knew everything, them kind of deals, whatever. So I'm like, okay, dude, here. So he takes the phone and he does his tries to, do what I already did. I already told him what happened. Okay, so we're sitting there looking at it and it's doing the same exact thing. He said, well, it looked like it's stuck. I don't know why it's taking so long. And I said, okay, well, that's what I told you what happened, right? So,
just a repeat now.
Yeah, just a little repeat here. So then,
and Henry went more like best shot.
yeah. So I'm just like, okay. So then he said, let me try it again. And so he tries one more time. It did the same thing. So he said, well, he turned around and he asked one of the other techs. He goes, so what do we do if we can't get it unlocked? So that guy said, well, we can put it on factory reset. Of course, you'll lose all your contact information, all that stuff. And I said, well, I don't care. I just want it fixed. Yeah, do that. And so they take it back, and he told me to have a seat. Okay, 1 hour and 30 minutes later, I'm sitting in this chair. I'm like, what's going on? He comes out talking about it's still trying to load, and he don't know why. So I said, okay. So I gave him like 30 more minutes, and it was the still same situation. So I said, man, just give me my phone. I said, I'll go to Apple Apple shop, whatever. I said, but the least you can do, you had me sitting up here for all this time, 2 hours, and you can't even fix the phone, and you don't know what's going on. You guys were supposed to be Apple certified. Well, I just got my certification last week, and I said, well, it doesn't matter. I said, somebody up here should know what to do. I said, call me an appointment. I said, at least you can do, call me an appointment, with Apple, since I don't have a phone to do that right now. So he went on and did it, and they set up the appointment for the next day, of course, because they were too full. So another day without my phone, right? This is day 2. So I'll go home that night, and then I just called AT&T just out of curiosity because I wanted to find out about my bill anyway, because that was my provider for the phone. Well, that lady on the with AT&T, I was telling her the story, and she was just like shocked because she was like, "What? They couldn't help you get?" I was like, "Yeah, no." So she ran down the real 411 on how to do it, and I was able to get it and retrieve all my stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Goodness.
Yes, all that for that. And I'd have wasted all that time done.
Sitting at Best Buy you just wasted all that time.
Yeah, on the Geek Squad. You geeks.
If AT&T rep knew what to do,
yeah,
then they should have known.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if he's new, somebody above him.
Right.
I think there was another person that told me, don't go to Geek Squad. Mm-hmm. And I think when they first came out, they were great. But I think as they evolved and became a part of Best Buy, whatever, they're just not what they used to be.
Yeah, that's what I think too, because that was just outrageous. And it was so sad because when I first got there, this kid, he was like, "Oh yeah, we can, get you
All that,
all this, yeah, right, yeah." And then when I was telling him how, I'd already looked it up and knows how to reset it, according to, on YouTube, he goes, "Well, yeah, you just probably didn't do it long enough," and da-da-da-da-da. He just really, the way I don't know, it's just the way he talked. It was just weird. It was just weird.
And of course, when you're our age and in their 20s, they think that, oh, okay.
He's just an old guy. He don't know what he's doing.
Right. He don't know what he's doing. You don't know.
Said the hammer works better.
It does. Sometimes you want to use that hammer.
Yeah.
That's me. I've been there. But it's amazing, though. Because, I've said this several times. Technology is always changing.
Yeah.
And even like music. And every time you buy a music software, no matter who it is, Pro Tools or PreSonus or whatever, you're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these programs. And when it's not working, and it's frustrating. Yeah. And sometimes you'll get good tech support, and sometimes you don't. Yeah. So I remember I was using the what do you call the is it the interface? It wasn't working with my program anymore. Make a long story short, after 3 or 4 months of dealing with tech support, they failed to tell me that the Windows 10, the update, they weren't ready for it. And that's why it wasn't working anymore. And it was David McLaurin who told me, he said, "Joyce, they're pulling your leg." He said, "Here, I'm going to let you use my Focusrite and see how that works." And it worked perfectly. And that's when I knew. And they got upset because I told them, it's your fault. You didn't tell me. But they didn't want to admit it. I'm sending OS reports, 2 or 3 of them, trying to get this solved for months.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do get to run around. And a little arrogant. I think the arrogance is that I don't want to admit that we can't fix it.
That's it. That's it. I agree with you.
It's our fault. But we're going to blame it you. Well, you didn't do everything. Look, you didn't do everything we told you to do. I said, it's in writing. Look at the thread here. I've done everything. And trying to make it look like, and it's easy to convince people like me because we're not engineers. Right. I'm still learning. But when I talk to somebody like David, and he said, "Nope, it's not you, and let me prove it to you," and he proved it to me. So I really came back with a little more gusto than I did before, because now I knew it wasn't anything I had done wrong.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Even Wix, I use Wix for my website. I love Wix, but their tech support or their support, I will tell them, "I'm having a problem with this." Then I will tell them, "I've already done this, this, and that," right? Letting them know, please don't copy and paste.
Right.
Your community.
Yes.
I will tell them, "I've done this, this, and that." Do you know they reply with a copy and paste of what I told them I had already done?
Lord have mercy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I had to reply. I told you that I didn't want to copy and paste. I've done that already. Please do this, and
Right.
But then other times I get great support. So you just, and I know that many companies rely on the community. They have a community section where you ask different people and they help you. Oh yeah. And that relieves them. Yes, that relieves them. But my thing is that if you are selling a product that is so technical, you need to have a staff that's available. If you have a staff that's available, more people will buy your product.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
Yeah, they'll buy. They'll say, "Oh, they have great customer support. They will help you with training and blah 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 blah." Then you sell more because your product is not cheap. What does Pro Tools now cost to purchase now, Gary? You have Pro Tools, don't you?
No, I'm actually using Reason, believe it or not. Yeah, I use Reason. And of course, and I also use Logic Pro too, which is with my Mac, but that's on my Mac. But the Pro Tools, I never actually used Pro Tools before. I wanted to at one point, and then when I found out that I can get Logic Pro for a reasonable price, and it does really well. They said, I was like, I'm saving some money.
Because I think I saw figures up to $1,000.
Okay.
Or depending on what you get.
It's
So
right. It's about right. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, because I know they got like so many different volumes of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you can get like this particular package or this, that has some extra stuff in it. Whatever, how they package stuff up these days.
Well, now I think one guy, I looked at his, he had so many loops. I mean, songwriting was just easy. And I love it when you have a loop, you can drag it in, but then you can double click it, and they have bars where you can change it to your liking.
Oh, okay.
Those are really nice to have. Not all of them are like that, but that's really great when you don't have $10,000 to spend on producing a CD. So somebody said, "Oh, you took the cheap way out." I said, "Well, I tell them, look, I do all this work to sell a track for 99 cents."
Thank you. Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Steve, I'm looking for shortcuts.
Right.
I mean, the product, spend $500 for this software, and then you buy some more and more, and you got all this stuff, and you spend all this money to produce a great professional CD. And if you go into a studio, that's costly. Everything is costly. To sell a track for 99 cents. So please don't criticize recording artists for taking shortcuts.
Oh, heck
because
no.
definitely the industry has. I got my royalty check. I looked at that thing. I said, you know what? It cost them more to mail this thing to me. It's from Music Reports that's supposed to be monitoring your play time. So
your performance rights organization.
Right. So I'm like, okay, you could, it's just amazing. Because I get confused because CD Baby collects and then this other one collects. I said, well, you could have kept that. And you look at what Spotify pays you. It's amazing. You can get 1 million plays and you may get a check for a couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
You might.
Right.
But yet, they're probably a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I think that the only way to remedy this thing is that every single recording artist, whether you're ABC artist, is to pull your music all at the same time. Do you think that would be effective?
It should be.
But everybody won't do it. But I really think that will work. Everybody pull. I mean, and Spotify has no music to play. Pandora has no music to play.
Yeah, that's like a musical strike, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but everybody, you remember when Taylor Swift did it, just with her music, it changed Google Play from not paying royalties. I was amazed that even, like my mom used to say, I can't believe that came out of your mouth. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get it. Well, gosh, wow, it's already 3 minutes till. Yeah.
Wow.
So, gosh, yeah, what a great time. Glad you guys were back with me this week, and then of course, glad that we were able to connect with Mr. Green, William Green, wonderful music and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, we're back on track for more artists. I'm not sure, Grizz, in the process, did you have somebody on standby?
No, because since my computer was out, I had no way to
yeah, because I didn't know if you
anybody. So okay,
right.
I'm still trying to navigate through Windows 10.
Exactly. Yeah, you got Windows 10.
Where do I go to do and yeah, I'm still trying to get that out.
All right, awesome. Because I know Joyce, you sent us email of somebody that we need to look at.
Oh yeah,
as well.
now I can look at that a little bit more.
So we'll start getting all that stuff going, and of course I do have I have an artist that wants to come on as well. He's a string violin artist, great.
Ooh.
Yeah, his name is Gareth Johnson. If you have not heard of him, he's very good. In fact, a friend of mine it's his nephew, and he is when we get it set up, you guys will know. It's good.
Hey, well, hey, we can come next week. Up next week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'll hit him up and see what his schedule's like and everything. But other than that, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoyed the show today as always, and hope to see you all here next week. Of course, all of you listening, please tell somebody about the show always, and come back and join us. All right.
Yep.
Peace out.
You're gonna be like Ray Mac, short and sweet.
No, I had a great time today. So good to be back here. So, but that's it. Just time to go. See you next week.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Chat room, thank you for joining us and keeping us entertained, because I try to keep up now that I've got my computers back. Finally, it was so, and I hated missing last week, but there was nothing I could do about it since I didn't have a computer.
Yeah.
But join us next week. Invite a friend, please, because we've got to grow this station. Yes. We've got to. So we need your help to do this. So please help us.
Right, please.
Or let's do
a lot of work into this.
Right? And be like a little. Let's do it like the little more of the twang. Help, please, help. I'm sorry, I had to be a little bit facetious there. There goes Joyce. Because I don't do the southern stuff unless I'm just being facetious. So there we go. All right. I couldn't help myself. Sorry. Everybody be safe out there. Stay hydrated, please. So this heat is terrible.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. That's very, very important. Please.
Very important.
Sunscreen. Wear a hat if you're going to be outside working.
Yeah.
Okay. And join us next week, and we will see you then. Have a great weekend.
Okay, yes, everybody. And, of course, for those of you that just tune in late or happen to miss the show, we will post the archive of this later today, so be looking out for that. And, again, have a great one. We'll see you next week.
Ciao.
Do somebody hear me? Do somebody hear me? Do somebody hear me? I want you to hear me now. A feeling that won't hold you back. The rainbow of colors intact. Watch them burst with love. Spread your love open so the world can see. Amazing things you let free, let free. If we all came together, we'd have a great life. Great life. It will give you peace and joy within. Do somebody hear